This video is a bit of a milestone. Holy shit, I started a crapshoot without saying recently. I'm very proud of myself. Anyway, this is video number 100. Kinda crazy. To the Sweet Lou photography aficionados out there, you might be saying, actually it's 101, but I unlisted that Black Friday video, so that doesn't count anymore. So this is video number 100. Thank you so much for sticking with me through all these crazy uploads, subscribing, sharing the videos, whatever it is you do. I appreciate all you guys out there, even the ones who say I'm mentally ill for liking metal. Thank you. And holy shit, thank you so much for 4,000 subscribers. That is awesome. I thought it would be really appropriate to make this 100th video a celebration of sorts of the community behind this channel. And it just so happens that a little bit of a challenge was brewing in my Discord. See, the community there, I'm really blessed to have such a cool community in my Discord, which by the way, you should join, decided to come up with a series of challenges for me. I was meant to complete these 8 challenges in a single day. The way it worked is they would release 4 challenges to me, I would have 4 hours to complete those, and then I would unlock the other 4 challenges. So this is the first ever, hopefully annual Sweet Lou Photography Discord challenge. If you'd like to take the challenge yourself, you can check the Google Doc listed in the description below. I will have the challenges there for you, and you can use the hashtag SLPChallenge2019, and I'll come check you out. I'd love to see it. It was a really interesting challenge. It made me think a lot, but I'm not going to spoil it. Let's experience it together the same way I did. I was really fortunate the day I filmed this video because I had Natara and Dev, some of the minds behind the series Super Dankness on YouTube, together to help me film. Super Dankness is a sketch comedy show, really funny stuff and great people. You should definitely go check them out. They get a little weird. I like it. It's my kind of humor. And then my good friend Checkout Jacob joined the mix too, so it was a bunch of creative friends together, fun times. It was really cold and windy though, but that's okay.
I bet this audio is gonna be great.
After a quick stop at B&H, I had my first 4 challenges.
Lou, so what's your challenges?
I wanna die.
The first 4 challenges: cold or winter, monochrome looking color photo, golden ratio architecture, and a memory from my youth. I guess we're photographing trauma today. Oh man. Since we had a relatively clear day, I thought the bluer glass against the blue sky would be a great contender for the monochromatic color image, so I looked up. I gotta say, I got really lucky with the timing. I waited for the clouds to pass behind the building so that it would just be blue sky behind it, and then the reflections of the clouds up front in the windows. Love it, the colors are pretty awesome. But my brain was really worried about the whole golden ratio architecture thing, and then I was like, Lou, you're stupid, we're right near the vessel.
This will be a scene transition.
And boom!
Now that's how you vlog. Before we actually went into the vessel, I noticed there was another opportunity for a monochrome color situation, another blue window building on the blue background. This one did not come out as nice as the first one, but I figured I'd share it anyway. Now some of this might be looking a little familiar to you. If you remember my Lomochrome Metropolis video, this was actually filmed on the same day. There's also a little bit more of a third video that was filmed on this day. We were just so productive, but I gotta say, I love having people with me. A lot of the times I do shoot these videos by myself, so having that social interaction along with someone to help is just, it's wonderful.
You look like you want to kill yourself. Focus, you fuck! Focus! Yeah, good girl. No!
Having some of the Super Dankness people with me is interesting to say the least.
Then either you should take a picture of one of us across the way, or one of us should take a picture of you across the way.
Here she is.
Alright, what do I need to know?
Before I ran across to the opposite side of the vessel to shoot that photo of Jacob, we decided to take a quick selfie with the Lomography Diana Instant. I guess I didn't want to be in the photo anyway. Just kidding, but I am upset. I thought the vessel would be a great example of the golden ratio. I mean, obviously it's architecture and obviously it's beautiful, but as I climbed up, I just decided, let's just shoot. Let's just have some fun with it. the golden ratio in the back of my mind, but I wasn't going out of my way saying, oh my god, where's the spiral in this shot? I took a bunch of shots that I really liked. There's little bits of editing here and there. I warmed up some parts just to kind of get some different colors going in, but all in all, I mean, it's hard to take a bad picture over in the vessel. As we got back onto the ground, I started to look through my photos, and while I really enjoyed a lot of them and I was happy with them, none of them really screamed golden ratio to me. But I wasn't too worried. I was a little worried. On the way out, I looked up at the vessel and saw that we were all in the reflection, so I had to take a picture of the squad. This is a nice one. I like this picture a lot. There's this little mall right next to the vessel, and we decided to go inside just to warm up a little bit. The top of the vessel was so cold and windy, and as we went inside, I turned and I looked up at the window, and there it was, my golden ratio shot. You could see the vessel and the building surrounding it through this glass window with a nice geometric pattern. That made me think of that SpongeBob episode, you remember? Squidward, I could see you through this little window. I was trying to find this clip so I can just put that instead of my voice, and I found this god tier YouTube content right here.
Hey Squidward, I can see you through this little window.
Legends never die. Anyway, I took a bunch of different variations of it just to see which one would be more golden ratio-y in post. I think it's this one.
Ooh, that's pretty hot. Look at that.
Can you do that again?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I looked right at it!
With that said, 2 of the 4 challenges were done, and we only had about an hour left, so I was doing really well. But I knew what I wanted to do for the childhood memory thing, and I'll explain when we get there. And I was getting kind of hungry, and I wanted to get some ramen, so if you've been watching the channel for a little bit, then you know what I'm about to say. We're going to Chinatown. Street photography in cold weather. Who would have thought that would have been a good visual representation of feeling cold? I first found these people looking through a bunch of jackets on the table. I thought that was nice, but then I saw another table set up with a bunch of fruit on it, and this woman looked so cold, and it was perfect. Sorry you were cold, but I was also cold. Shared cold experiences. I wish this shot was a little bit closer to the subject though. I guess you can crop it, but I don't know, it feels kind of against this challenge, so I didn't. So I only had 1 challenge left from the first 4, and that was the memory from my youth. Now this one, I know we make a lot of jokes on this channel here, but this is serious. So I was 11 years old and living in the Bronx, New York when September 11th happened. I remember getting taken out of school. I remember how bad everyone was freaking out and the cable was out and stuff like that. And it was a really visceral and scary time. And so for this one, I chose to take a picture of One World Trade Center. For those of you who may not know, One World Trade Center was rebuilt in the place of the original World Trade Center, and it is the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. Now, this is not a positive childhood memory. I said I wasn't gonna joke, stop it. But it's something that I will never forget for the rest of my life. So while this is a photo I've made before on the channel on film and stuff like that, it has a very different meaning this time. After the first 4 challenges were done, we grabbed lunch.
Yay, friendship. Oh.
I let everyone in the Discord know that the first 4 challenges were completed on time. I did it, very awesome. And they decided to release 1 of the remaining 4 challenges because it was very relevant, food photography. Also, what the hell did I write there? What, dude? So we got our ramen and I decided to take a couple of pictures. The first one, Natara was pouring a little bit of oil or something, chili oil? I don't remember what it was. She was pouring it on her ramen and I thought it was really cool, so we got that shot. After that, I decided it would be cool to do some macro photography on the noodles. Unfortunately, I didn't have a macro lens, so I did the classic flip the lens backwards thing.
Oh my god!
What? You alright?
But it was so hot and steamy, it was just fogging up the glass, and honestly my hunger got the best of me there and I didn't really mess with it for too long. I did get this shot, it's decent, it's still a little steamy and abstract looking, but there you go, noodles. They were very delicious. Also, there was some sushi. This shot's alright. After we finished eating, I received the final 3 challenges: visual depth, horror, and the Instagram banger. So I was allowed to just go crazy with the editing on the last one. These are exciting, I'm really into them, so let's go shoot. So if we're going in chronological order that day, I was working on the Monochromatic video, which is already on the channel, you can check it out, I've mentioned it before in this video. I don't know why I'm promoting it now, but anyway, we were walking to Sammy's photo lab to get the film developed, and on the way we figured we can just bang out more of the challenges. One of the first things that stood out to me was this liquor store. The neon sign was just really cool. I shot a couple of just shallow depth of field shots there. It achieves the idea, but I'm not in love with it. It's nothing too spectacular.
Oh, spooky!
As we kept walking and doing some street photography, we came across this just huge collection of broken glass next to a bike. It was very strange. I don't know like where it came from. Really caught my eye. I liked the way it was shining and reflecting with the sunlight. So I went for a shallow depth of field on that, the glass in sharp focus, and kind of have everything else melt out of focus. I wish the bike was a little more shallow, a little bit more out of focus, but it's still an interesting shot. And pretty close to the collection of broken glass there was this kitchen, and the way the window was fogged up, it was kind of very nicely framing the cooks inside there. I really wanted to get tight focus on the condensation on the window and get the cooks all blurred out of focus. It didn't really quite work out the way I wanted it to, and then they like looked at me and we made weird eye contact, and then I got really self-conscious and ran. So that one didn't work out. So 0 for 3, we're really batting 1,000 right now. Very nice, very strong performance. But you know what? That's okay, because my luck turned around shortly thereafter. As we were getting closer to Sammy's, I turned to the right, and I saw this little alley. And this alley kinda spooked me. It was a little creepy. Sorry if you live there. No offense. There's something about it that just gave me an eerie feeling. I think it's all the vines growing up the buildings. This area really intrigued me, and we ended up spending a few minutes there shooting a lot of photos. I also ended up going for some more depth of field stuff with the vines shooting up the side of the building. There's definitely some interesting shots, and it's an interesting perspective. I think my favorite shot from the alley has to be this one. There is something that's almost like H.P. Lovecraft about this image. It feels like the stone is melting away to this redder brick underneath, like it's aging too quickly, or it's, revealing some sort of ethereal organs beneath the building or something like that. I know this is sounding kinda strange, but I'm into horror stuff like that, and they just, I don't know, it creeped me out. I didn't like it, but I do like this picture a lot. Thank you so much for asking me to shoot horror stuff, by the way. I don't really know how much I've mentioned on this channel that I love horror movies and horror video games, but this really was right up my alley. I was very excited to shoot some horror-related stuff.
Take a picture of the DMV?
Yeah.
That's scary.
It's pretty fucking scary.
After the alley experience, we were really close to Sammy's, and you might recognize this picture from my Metropolis video. I took this one on film, but I also shot it on my Sony. I'm a big fan of Brandon Wolfel and my friend Noe. They both have a lot of neon stuff in their work, so when I see neon signs now, I'm like, oh, cool. So I shot this one. I'm gonna put this one up as a contender for the Instagram banger because I gave it kind of a pretty heavy edit, but there's actually another one that happens a little bit later on that is the Instagram banger. After we dropped off the film at Sammy's, we decided to go for another walk. There was a Polaroid pop-up shop nearby-ish. On the way there, I saw this wall that had this really interesting design on it, and there it was, my opportunity for some visual depth. I got some really nice lights out of focus in the background and really great detail on the etchings in the wall. I spent a little bit of time there, I took a variety of shots, but I think this one has to be my favorite. As we got closer to the Polaroid pop-up, it was just getting colder and colder, but I saw this nice little cafe, and immediately in my head I knew this was my Instagram banger. We had the nice neon light there, we had the street light, so I waited for it to turn red so that it would match the cafe sign. It looks like a place I want to be. I want to go get a coffee there. I should have gotten a coffee there. I didn't get a coffee there. But there's something about this image to me. It's so moody. So I really approached the edit with that in mind, that very moody vibe. And I feel like it looks like something right out of a movie. I'm a big fan of this shot. I gotta post it to Instagram. Then we can verify if it's a banger or not. But after that, we were finally around the corner from the Polaroid pop-up shop, and I noticed this window full of headless mannequins. Now here's a fun fact about me. I actually have an irrational fear of mannequins. Not like I'll run out of a store or something like that, but they make me uncomfortable and I don't like looking at them. So you could imagine how I felt when I saw all these mannequins and they're naked and headless and congregating weirdly. I think it's because of that Twilight Zone episode. I saw that when I was pretty young. The one where the woman's in the mall and then it's like, oh, you're a mannequin. That shit kinda stuck with me. So I took this picture. I knew that I wanted it to be like a grainier black and white look, and it's just, boy, is that uncomfortable. That image just makes me not feel great. But it really did make me think of that moment in Condemned when you have all the mannequins surrounding you and they're whispering and shit. I'm moving on. I don't like this.
Sweet Lou,
What
are you up to?
Right as we walked out of Polaroid, I saw this, and I had to take a shot of it. I gave it a pretty heavy edit, so this might be another contender for the Instagram banger, but honestly, I like the cafe shot way more than this one, but still wanted to share it with you guys. But with that, my challenges were done. We started to head back to the train to head home for the day. It was just so cold, but I was very satisfied with all the work I had done, and I decided to fire off one last shot. See, we were saying our goodbyes to Jacob, and I noticed that this store right over here, there was so much pink in there, and the woman shopping in there, she had pink in her hair, and it made me think of the monochrome color stuff that we shot earlier in the day. So I decided to take one last picture for the day and then pack everything away. I really like how this one turned out. It's got an interesting feel. It's not replacing my building sky shot from earlier, but I still thought it was pretty cool. I hope you all understand how much I appreciate the fact that there is even a community to give me these challenges in the first place. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I enjoyed working on these challenges because they really made me think and they pushed me as a photographer. Normally when I'm making one of these crapshoot videos, I have no plan, I have no structure to the day, I just kind of go do things. But with this video, I had to think about my next couple of moves in advance. I had to plan things out very carefully, otherwise I would have ran out of time. It was an interesting way to shoot and I really enjoyed doing it. I took so many photos during the day, so I wanted to wrap this video up with a gallery of the 8 challenges. We'll start off with the monochromatic color. I really love the building shot. This was one of my first attempts at the challenge and I think it's a winner. My golden ratio architecture shot involved the vessel, so it's always going to be a banger when it's such a beautiful piece of architecture and such a beautiful part of New York City. I think you can really feel how brick it was in New York that day through this photo. Also, if you don't know, brick is slang for cold. A lot of people say that over here. Anyway, childhood memory, of course, was the One World Trade Center. It is a shot I've done before, but it means a lot to me. Food photography was of course the delicious lunch. I want ramen now. Visual depth was fun. I love playing with shallow depth of field stuff, and I just think having the right textures and the lights in the background really made this shot work very well for it. The horror stuff was a lot of fun. While I love exploring and finding spooky places like the Vine building, I'm sorry, but the mannequins gotta take it. That shit makes me uncomfortable. And last but certainly not least, the Instagram banger. I love a good edit on a photo, and this is gonna have to be my winner. I think this is my favorite photo from the entire shoot. But what do you guys think? What's your favorite photo? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you to everyone who watches these videos, whether this is your first video or you've watched the 99 before it. It's really awesome to know that people watch and enjoy my videos. It means the world to me. And thank you to everyone who hit subscribe, bringing us to 4,000. That is crazy. It's so cool. I'm really psyched about that. I'm gonna keep the 4K Club up just a little bit longer, so if you do want to grab a t-shirt, you can check it out in the link below. You can get a t-shirt with the 4K Club on there. Those are gonna go away in the next couple of days though, so make sure you cop one if you want. No pressure, of course. And as always, guys, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you smash subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like, it helps a lot. And let me know how your day is going. Make sure you share the video and hit me on socials. I'm on Discord, I'm on Instagram, MySpace, Twitter. Alright guys, that about does it for me. I'll see you in the next video right before Christmas. Alright guys, mwah, mwah. Thanks for everything. I will talk to you soon. Bye. There's monochromatic stuff all around me. Before I ran to the opposite side to take a picture of Jacob on... we decided to do a quick selfie with the Loma... I thought... but at... metric pattern... oh my god. Street photography in the act...
Like and subscribe to Sweet Lou Photography. the man.